Good morning, Flosstube. Lynette here at Homesteading on the Home Front. This is episode number 47. It is Tuesday, August 27th, otherwise known as the first day of school. So I put the kids on the bus about an hour and a half ago. My only goal for today was to finish lacing Sparrow for the fair because drop-off day is tomorrow. I'm cutting it a little close. It needs to get done. I started the other night and got halfway through the lacing the long side and decided I was done. So I put them on the bus. I was lacing. I finished the long side. I was just getting ready to start on the short side. And Misty decides that she wants to play with the floss. Because I'm standing trying to separate a long piece of floss. And the cat launches herself from the floor right here, because this is where the floss is dangling, right? Because I'm using my chin to hold it so it won't tangle. Launches herself with claws onto my stomach to get the floss. And that's when I decided that trying to lace a big sampler with a kitten in the house is akin to trying to lace a big sampler with a toddler in the house, except the kitten has claws instead of sticky fingers. So, that's where Sampler is sitting for now until nap time. Once she tuckers herself out and sleeps, I will take it out and I will finish that short side and I will pop it in the frame and hopefully it'll be fine. So anyway, the fair is this weekend. I'm working on all of my entries. All of them are done except Sparrow, which I don't know why I didn't do Sparrow first, but anyway. I thought I would take this opportunity while waiting for Misty to fall asleep to film a Flosstube and show you what I have put together for the fair. So, the first thing, you've seen this before. This is 'Tis the Season from Blackbird Designs. I'm going to be talking about this a little more later on. Last year when I finished it, I didn't have any of my craft supplies because I was still living out of suitcases at my parents'. So I took some time to wire it together and hopefully it'll stay together while it's hanging at the fair. This has the potential to blow some minds. If you remember last year when I entered some of my projects, I think, which one was it? It might have been Sally Spencer that caused the hullabaloo because they thought that the modeling and the antiquing on my linen was actually dirt. So they thought I entered a filthy piece. Thankfully, somebody set the judges straight. No, they said, I think that's intentional because that's the look these days. So anyway, not sure what the judges are going to think of this because this isn't 80s stitching either, but the whole reason I am entering into the fair is to hopefully show people that no, it is not the 80s cross stitching anymore. We've come a long way, baby. So, yeah, some of my pieces are more traditional, some of them are not. I am hoping to inspire somebody to get back into stitching. Anyway. This is a little more traditional. This is originally, well, it is a big toe, my big toe designs. Originally it said it is better to dwell in the corner of a rooftop than in a house with a quarrelsome wife. I changed it to one of my favorite verses from Proverbs. Yep, that's the cat running around. Changed it to one of my favorite verses in Proverbs, and I had it framed in a cheapo frame with no glass, but then I found this one and I liked it, so I took the sampler that I had in it out because I didn't really like that sampler anyway, and I added this one. And they all have to have wire on the back for hanging. The tooth grips that come with most frames aren't acceptable because they use pegboard and hooks, so they need everything to be wired. You've all seen this before. I just showed this recently. This is Penny Pumpkin by Scarlet House. It is on a pumpkin that I got last year at the Christmas tree shop. And if you are on the East Coast and know what Christmas tree shop is, I was just there last week, and they have a very, very similar pumpkin. It does not have this leaf, but it has a buffalo check gingham bow here, and it would be perfect. So if you're interested, go get them. They have a lot of fall stuff out. I actually bought these while I was there. I couldn't decide between the blue and the white, so I got both. They were $4 each. They have a stand on the back, so they'll stand up. And I liked that they were flat down here, so a rectangular piece will go very nicely. Now I did the math. Even if you stitched Penny Pumpkin on 40 count, it would not fit on this. I wish it would have, but I'll find something to go on these. We also got at Christmas Tree Shop, they were having their patriotic stuff for like 80% off. So I got a couple of pieces and finished Little One's piece. So I'm not going to show it to you because she wants to show it to you next time she's in a video. But one of the rules in the junior department is that they can only enter one piece per category. So she's entering in her reading sampler for the cross stitch category. And then the other category that she's entering in is holiday ornament. And originally we thought we would just finish one of the ornaments that the Christmas ornaments that she stitched up, but we found this thing at the Christmas Tree Shop, and I finished her Lizzie Kate Land That I Love. And I said, you know, this is a holiday, and you can hang it like an ornament, so you can enter this into the holiday ornament category. And she's like, well, isn't it supposed to be for Christmas? And I said, probably, but they were trying to be politically correct, and they said holiday ornament instead of Christmas ornament. And so July 4th is a holiday. So they're getting a July 4th holiday ornament. So she'll show that to you. It came out really nicely, but yeah, they had some good stuff on clearance. Okay, this one you've seen but not finished because I just framed it up the other day. I found this frame in my stash. This is Hello Winter by Plum Street. And I wanted to leave it out all winter long, so I did not write Hello Winter down here. And I love how this came out. And then this one you've seen, but I just finished it. This is Bee Man's Garden, except I changed it to the Bee Lady's Garden. And I needed a frame for this. And so a couple weeks ago I was walking around at Michael's looking for a 9-inch frame, and I found this shadow box. So it's thick and wide. And I knew that it would be the perfect size. So that's what we've got. And then the last one for now, I think, if I got them all. This was originally Cherry Hollow Farm by Stacey Nash. I got it as a kit on eBay for cheap. It came with the threads, the linen, the chart. I think I paid $16 including shipping. I checked on eBay recently and it's not easy to find as it was when I had it. But anyway, I changed the design a little because that red house, nope. I know some of you love red houses and I love looking at them. I do not love stitching them. So I changed this to say, the prayer of a righteous man availeth much. I was reminded of this verse by Lorraine at Rags to Stitches. She, in one of her earlier episodes, was talking about a rough plain flight she had. And at the time, a lot was going on in the Flosstube community. And so I changed it to this verse. And I just finally got around to framing it. I painted the frame. Originally, it was this green color. There's no glass on it. And I absolutely love how this came out. And I thought it was timely because when I stitched it, there was a lot going on in the Flosstube community, and when I finished it, there's a lot going on in the Flosstube community. Just lots of situations right now, opportunities for prayer. And so I thought this was a good reminder. And then, yes, I think that's it. Is that it? That's it, except for Sparrow. Did I tell you that's where Sparrow is? This is the third time I've tried to film this because I kept running out of space on my memory card, so I had to delete stuff and transfer it over to the computer. But anyway, Sparrow is there. Here, we have walls with no wallpaper. So that's started out as an unexpected project last weekend. My husband decided to just kind of yank on the wallpaper and see how hard it would be to come off, and the whole sheet came off. So he just continued around. But what that means is everything is being stored on the hutch, furniture is pulled out from the walls, etc., etc. It's a little chaotic here between trying to get ready for the fair and having stuff off the walls and out of the walls so that he can paint next weekend. So hopefully next time we do a Flosstube, we'll have a color. I think what we're actually going to do, we saved a piece of the wallpaper, and I think we're going to try to match the paint to the background of the wallpaper because we liked it. It wasn't bad. It was just really, really busy. So it's going to be probably like a tan yellow color, and then I will be able to hang my cross stitches all the way around. The paneling only goes about 2/3 of the way up the wall, and so for now we're just going to paint the wall. I haven't decided if we're going to paint the paneling or not. That's a bigger project, and I don't know if we're going to do that or not. But anyway, all right, so those are my fair entries, some FFOs for you, my whips. So I had been working on, this is Autumn's Fruitful Labor by Brenda Gervais. And I finally finished the top. So now all I have to do is this bottom section, which is going to go really fast. It's just the flowers and the leaves, or flowers and then the words. The problem was that I stitched this one single flower and I hated every minute of it. Like it just, I couldn't get into a groove, and I knew that I had so many flowers left that I just, so originally my goal was to finish, I thought I could finish by the end of August. But then last week, a friend of mine who I used to work with years ago, before I was even teaching, I worked in financial aid at the local college, and that's where I met Beth. Her daughter was actually in my brother's grade, so I knew of her, but we met at Nichols and had a lot in common. And so anyway, she is getting to the point where she's having trouble seeing to stitch even with Ada. So she has decided that she is going to stick to wool applique and wanted to get rid of all of her cross stitch stuff. So I went and picked it up. There was a bag full of Ada, a box full of patterns. It was absolutely amazing. And she was showing me, let's see, this is the working copy. She was showing me Rebecca Nurse and was expressing how sad she was because she had really wanted to stitch that for her son and daughter-in-law because her son is a history teacher. But not only that, but they live in Danvers, which is the next town over from Salem. And for those of you who don't know, Danvers used to be a part of Salem. And so the Salem witch trials actually took place in what is now modern-day Danvers. So I had it with that flower on Autumn's Fruitful Labor, and I was like, you know what? I am going to stitch Rebecca Nurse, and I am going to give it to Beth to give to her son because she was so generous in giving me all of these patterns and her fabric. I want to do this for her. So I have been monogamously stitching on Rebecca Nurse for a week or so. And as you can see, I'm almost done. I need to, this is going to say Salem, and then I need to finish some of these trees and add some snow, and it'll be done. And this is going to fit perfectly into an 8x10 frame. So I'm really excited about this. Stitching all of the snow was a bear. And it does, I don't know if it's showing up on screen, but the snow does pop on this fabric. There's only like, I don't know how many colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 colors in this whole thing. So it absolutely reminded me of working on a prairie schooler, because one of those colors is 3371 and another is 3777, you know, prairie schooler colors. So I'm going to have this done so that I can give it to Beth next time I see her. So those are the 2 things that I've been working on since last time. My plan is to finish this in the next couple of days, and then I will go back to Autumn's Fruitful Labor and just suck it up and knock those plants out of the way. So sometime in September I'll be done with that. Hopefully early September rather than late September, but that's the plan. And then I have a little Brenda Gervais. It's a little squirrel. I don't have it here, but if I have time in September, I will work on that one. And then October 1st. Do you remember last year? Well, if you were around in the Flosstube world last year, you know that everyone and their brother was stitching this because we did a stitch along. So there's an existing Facebook group. I believe I called it 'Tis the Season because 'tis the season. Well, October 1st, that Facebook group is getting changed to Home for the Holidays. So, the rules are going to be stitch something from Home for the Holidays. Doesn't have to be the cardinal. It can be if you want it to be. I think I'm going to start with some of these stockings that they have. Just because they're quick and easy. Or they look to be quick and easy. I don't know if they really will be. But I know, who was it? Somebody just said they wanted to stitch Blessings Be Thine. Of course, there's Christmas Garden, which I will stitch before I die. So if you would like to stitch on any of those, if you already are stitching on any of those, I will link the Facebook group below. As of October 1st, Home for the Holidays. There hasn't been much activity in the group since last spring, probably, when most people were finishing up their 'Tis the Season. So I haven't even been like approving. I think I had 1 or 2 people ask to be part of the group. So I don't know how I'm gonna work it, because what happened was I called it Flosstube 'Tis the Season or something like that, and there were a lot of people that joined that weren't part of Flosstube, which is fine, because I think, if anything, it helped get the word out about Flosstube. However, I do like knowing that we have our little community, and anyway, I don't know if I'm going to close it off somehow so that only people with the link to the group can get in, and then I would link the group from my, you know, the box down below, or if I'm just going to leave it open to everyone. I haven't decided. If you have any strong opinions, put them down below. Here's another one that I want to stitch. So yeah, October 1st, Home for the Holidays. Okay. So that brings me to the last thing that I want to talk about. Sometime after StitchCon, we made it over 3,000 subscribers, which blows my mind. Now, if you're new here, you probably won't realize this, but I am way far behind in subscriber giveaways because I think when we hit 1,500, we were moving off of Guam. When we hit 2,000, I was living out of suitcases at my parents' house. When we hit 2,500, we were trying to unpack because we had just bought this house. And then 3,000 came at StitchCon in summer. So, way far behind, and I wanted to do something fantastic because I love and appreciate you all. But I didn't want to do a giveaway because I wanted to do something for everybody. When I hit 1,000, I published some free charts to go with the Farmhouse Christmas series. They were all quilts named after Flosstubers. If you are interested in those charts, they're still up. Go look for my 1,000 giveaway or 1,000 subscriber video. So I wanted to do something for everybody and not just one or two lucky winners. So what I did was I went and fell in love with a sampler on eBay, an antique sampler, and I bought it. And I will show it to you right now. When I bought it, the seller named this Bessie Robertson. Her name is down here. And I don't know if you can see it or not with the glass, but it doesn't say Bessie. It's I-E-S-S-I-E. Well, many of you know that I and J in samplers were frequently interchanged. A lot of times J's were left out of the sampler because it wasn't originally part of the Latin alphabet. And so this is actually Jessie Robertson. And I fell in love, first of all, because it's symmetrical. You know that about me. Second of all, because of these big letters. It was hard to tell. I couldn't tell if they were cross stitch or eyelet stitch, but I knew that they could be done in eyelet if we wanted to, and I very much do love eyelet alphabets. And then all of these initials are presumably her ancestors. Now, I spent hours on Ancestry trying to find Jessie Robertson. There's no birth date. All we know that she was age 17 when she stitched this. And so I tried to find information on a Jessie Robertson, and I assumed that this is her father and this is her mother because they're the first initials. And so this would either be an I or a J Robertson, and this would either be an I or a J W. So I looked on Ancestry for Jessie Robertson with parents matching these. And believe it or not, there's probably close to 24 Jessie Robertsons with a father whose first name begins with I or J, and a mother whose first name begins with I and J, whose maiden name was W. So needless to say, I was unsuccessful in actually finding out which Jessie Robertson stitched this sampler. Which I would love to know. And I'm assuming these also are siblings. I couldn't match any of the Jessie Robertsons that I found on Ancestry. I couldn't match any siblings. But anyway, so the deal is, I charted it. It didn't take me long at all. I had great fun. this is another sampler, and one of the reasons I fell in love with it, because I knew that it would be easy to resize to a standard size frame, because you just take out rows of alphabet or rows of initials to make it as tall as you need it to be. So my plan was, and still is, to release that chart to the Flosstube community as a thank you for subscribing. The problem is that a couple weeks ago, my computer died. Now, I knew it wasn't holding a charge, and so I was able to take all of my pictures, all of my videos, all of my documents. I got everything off the computer. So it's not the end of the world. However, in order to get at the cross-stitch chart for Jessie Robertson, I need to find the disk of my cross-stitch program so that I can install it on the new computer. I know the disk is here somewhere. I know that in unpacking the craft room from Guam, I found the disk and I put it somewhere safe. And you all know the rest of that story. So after the fair, I'm going to spend some time in the wreck of a room I call the crap room and find that disk so that I can install the program on the new computer so that I can get that chart out there. My plan is to walk you through how to resize it, how to pick the size fabric to stitch on, because a lot of you have expressed an interest in learning how to resize samplers. And so I thought this would be a really good way to start so that I could teach you how to do that. So all of that to say, it's coming. I'm working on it. I brought the sampler to StitchCon, so if you were there, you get to see it in person. And I put a little teaser note on there, like, coming soon. And my intention was to have it come soon, but computer. So hopefully it won't take me too long to find that disc. The very worst case scenario is that I will have to buy the program again, which isn't horrible because I had been toying with the idea of upgrading to the professional version anyway. I use Hobbyware Pattern Maker, I believe is what the program is called. If any of you out there have a different Windows-based program that you like and enjoy, please let me know. I'm not going to do Mac, so any of the Apple products, no. But the thing that I don't like about this Pattern Maker program is that it is not at all easy to save as a PDF. And so I would really love to get a program that's an option for. This program I first bought in 2002. I don't even think they support it anymore. They still sell it. It still works on all of the new Windows versions. But if there's another Windows-based program out there that you know of that saves as a PDF very easily, please let me know. Because I wouldn't even mind recharting that program or that chart in a new program, because it actually didn't take me all that long. All right, so I'm at 29 minutes. I have a minute to close this out or the camera's going to shut off. So I will be back after the fair to show you how that went. Hopefully the kids will be back and can show you what they entered and how they did. Until then, I wish you fair winds and following seas.